How's it going, guys? Mask here, back with another MapleStory M video. Now today I want to start a series of videos that I've been meaning to do, and something that I would really have appreciated to have been available when I started playing the game. And we are certainly getting many new people starting the game every day, considering we just hit 5 million downloads, which is awesome. But I want to basically do an in-depth review of the Bishop character themselves, and then I want to continue to complete this series with all of the characters, so anyone starting new to the game can actually see what's available for that character all the way up to level 100, so they don't have to waste 2 or 3 days to get there in the first place. But before we get started, let me show you how you can save money on every single in-game purchase for MapleStory M by checking out Gameflip. Gameflip has Google Play gift cards for 5, 10, up to 20% off face value. iTunes gift cards for 10, 11, even 12% off face value. This is basically free money. It's a great place to get Steam games at an extremely cheap price, and all of your purchases are backed up by the Gameflip guarantee. So you should check out the link at the top of the description. It'll take you to Gameflip, and you can save a ton of money on your next cash shop purchase. So, this is a bishop. Obviously, our main weapon as a bishop is a wand. Mine's Jahin. I would highly suggest running Jahin. Jahin gives you so here's a bishop. As a bishop, your main weapon is a wand, and I mean, if we're gonna take a look at the one I'm using, it is a Jahin wand. It gives you a crit damage bonus. Basically, the two most suggested weapons for just about every class in the game are Jahin or Brizer. Brizer giving you a boss damage increase, Jahin giving you crit damage increase. I prefer Jahin just because that crit damage is going to be applied to every mob in the game and not just bosses. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. But let's take a look at the skills. That's what everyone's going to be most interested in. So at level 0, when you spawn into the game, you're going to have Energy Bolt, Teleport. You're going to have a buff called Magic Guard, and 2 passives. So let's take a look at the passives. MP increase simply permanently increases your MP. That's fantastic. I mean, we pretty much use our MP every single time we do anything as a bishop. Buffs, heals, all of our attacks. And Magic Armor condenses raw magic into armor, increasing your defense. So it simply gives you a 9% physical and magical defense boost. Hey, we're already really squishy. This comes very handy. Magic Guard, convert a portion of incoming damage into MP. Now, this was a fantastic buff. It has been a fantastic buff, but often we've been not using it as bishops lately. After the new update, the new patch that just happened, it chunks your MP so much that you're using a lot of MP pots now because our Magic Eater skill is not able to keep up with it. And I'll get to that in a further level. So at level 0, this is what you have available. Energy Bolt is simply a damaging cone in front of you, and Teleport actually allows you to teleport a short distance. So let me show you the skills. So this is Teleport. I'm hitting Teleport, and you can see me blinking all over the map. It's really cool because you can teleport up and down levels and whatnot, and you can actually jump teleport as well to get to spots that are just a little bit too high for you to be able to do it normally. From right here, I don't believe we can. Yeah, we can, but still. Probably the top of this roof's a good example. There we go. From the ground floor, we would not have been able to get up to the top of that roof without jumping. So teleport you will use forever. It's a skill that never gets old, and our Energy Bolt looks like this that you get at level 0. You just shoot a bolt of energy in a straight line. It's pretty decent for killing mobs that are a fair distance from you. So let's take a look at the next tier of skills. At level 30, we have Holy Arrow and Heal as active skills. I'll show you the Holy Arrow. Heal kind of speaks for itself, but I'll show you those skills. Bless, which is your first party buff. Actually, Bless is your first party buff. It's going to temporarily increase the stats of nearby allies, including yourself. You get 5% accuracy boost, and a 12% evade boost when it's maxed. And Magic Booster is going to temporarily increase attack speed. It doesn't really give me a stat for it down here. Magic booster will increase your attack speed, which I mean, obviously, that's automatically a huge plus. The faster you can cast, the better. Here's MP Eater. This is the passive I was talking about when we were discussing Magic Guard, the level 0 buff. This restores some MP when skills are used. This used to be extremely broken, and we didn't even need to use magic pots whatsoever. Mana pots, sorry. And it's been nerfed now, so our MP recovery is 1% every time a skill is used. The more MP total you get, the better this passive will scale. But for now, I'm starting to chug mana pots now. And, I mean, it's not too bad. It's still better than most other classes, I'm sure. Invincible is going to be a 4% physical and magic damage increase. Decrease, sorry, no, this is the Invincible. This decreases incoming physical and magic damage by 4%. Spell Mastery, you're getting a 53 HP recovery boost and 10% max HP, which is a great buff to our survivability. Blessed Ensemble, we have a 9% magic attack increase. This should be one of the first things you focus on in level 30 as a bishop. This is a huge damage increase. And High Wisdom is also, this is a magic attack increase. This is simply a magic damage and speed increase. So at level 30, we get some awesome damage increasing passives. Our first party buff and a couple great buffs. Pretty much everything from level 30 you're going to be using for quite a while. Let's take a look at Holy Arrow and Heal. So Holy Arrow, this is Heal here, so it's just an AoE heal. It will heal everyone around you, and it heals for quite a lot. Now, Holy Arrow, it doesn't look like much, but the range on Holy Arrow is well past what you can actually see it hitting. And to be honest, I used Holy Arrow practically all the way up to level 100. It's a really reliable, strong skill that hits everyone in front of you in a cone. Now, if I jump back in and let's take a look at the level 60 skills. For our actives, we get Dispel. This is a skill you're going to use for the rest of your bishop existence. It removes all of normal conditions from yourself and nearby allies. So it's basically a cleanse on a 10-second cooldown. And this is very, very useful for things like, for all of the harder boss runs later on. Whenever your party members get debuffed, if they get stunned, anything, as long as you aren't stunned, you can Dispel and get that off them. Shining Ray damages and stun multiple enemies with a ray of holy light. I'll show you this skill. I was never a huge fan of it myself. I actually used Holy Arrow all the way to 100. I do definitely remember this now. And Holy Fountain summons a fountain on the ground around you and heals everybody near that fountain, and it lasts for 20 seconds. I'll show those skills off in just a moment. Now, the buffs you get at level 60, Holy Symbol. Holy Symbol is an experience boost buff. I actually get 6% bonus experience just for having this buff on as a bishop. It's fantastic. It's really cool, but I mean, you can always just have a good bishop friend to get Holy Symbol from, and you're still good to go. So bishops having this skill doesn't necessarily give them a huge advantage. And Holy Magic Shell, or better known as HS. This is what you're gonna see every person ever bugging you for. Hey, HS please. Hey Bishop, can you please give me HS? Holy Magic Shell, it used to be a flat HP MP boost, and it was huge, but they've changed it to a 10% magic or max HP and a 10% max MP boost. So it's way better late game for people who have crazy strong armor, but it definitely has way less of an impact early game now. Still one of the best buffs in the game. We're also getting Teleport Mastery, and now is whenever we teleport, we do damage. We damage 5 enemies on arrival at the cost of additional mana. So it costs an extra 471 mana to use teleport, and we do damage when we actually arrive at location. Truthfully, I don't put this on very often because as a bishop, it doesn't make sense to be teleporting into the middle of groups of enemies. It's just, you'd rather stay away and hit them from afar, and I'd rather my teleports not be costing me more mana. So this isn't that great of a buff. I leveled it dead last out of all of my level 60 skills, and I don't actually use it. Now, Divine Protection is a 10-second self buff that blocks all abnormal conditions. So this will make you immune to stuns and all the different debuffs they have in the game, but it only lasts for 10 seconds. It's very useful in the dojo if you're coming up on a boss you've had a really hard time trying to beat. Like, this is the highest floor you've ever got to. pop Divine Protection, and you have a solid 10-second window to try to beat that boss without having to fall victim to any of its debuffs. And of course, we have 2 new passives at level 60. Holy Focus, which is a 2% crit resist boost and a 10% crit damage resist. And we have Arcane Overdrive, which will be a 2% crit rate and 10% crit damage boost, which is fantastic. That crit damage boost will stack with my Jaehin wand, really boosting that damage when I manage to land those crits. Now let's take a look at these passives. We have Dispel, Shining Ray, and Holy Fountain. Those are going to be our level 60 skills. Now here is Shining Ray. So basically it's an AoE circle around you. The reason I didn't like this is because you have to be uncomfortably close to enemies. Even with teleport available, I much preferred the distance that I was able to kill things at with this skill instead. You're able to kill people way further away from yourself, and as a bishop, I just never liked getting up close and personal. And the damage from Holy Arrow was still very comparable to Shining Ray. Shining Ray simply did not... I suppose we have 80.6% skill damage and 368%. See, it didn't even make sense. Honestly, it hits 5 people. Holy Arrow, I used Holy Arrow all the way to level 100. I was never a fan of Shining Ray. And we have... Let me just pop that skill menu back open that we were using. We have Dispel. Dispel is simply... It doesn't look like much. Imagine its range the same as your heal skill, and you're just going to cleanse yourself and everyone around you. And then you have the Fountain. It's got a 1-minute cooldown, but it sets up, and you can see it healing me for 2,500. Has a decent range. Let's see if I heal all the way out here. I don't. So the range is approximately the door on this house, I'd say. There it is. Yeah. So a respectable range. You put it in the middle of the ramp for the Zakum boss. It's healing everyone on the ramp. But I do believe that the Holy Fountain got nerfed in our last patch as well. It's only healing me for 2,500, which is like... not that significant. Still, a noticeable heal, not to be ignored. Now, let's take a look at the level 100 skills. These are going to be, the biggest addition of skills to the game, too, because it's 50 levels of skill points to be applied. Don't forget, your number of skills you have is limited by the number of skill points you'll get between tiers, because an important thing to note is you will always have enough skill points. From level 0 to level 30, you'll have enough skill points exactly to max every skill between 0 and 30. So that's a 30 level range. A 30 level range, there needs to be the exact same number of skills in both of these ranges, so you always have enough points to level it up. But in the level 60 tier, it has 40 levels to go before new skills. That's why you'll notice there was a couple more. At level 100, the max level in the game is 150 right now, so they have plenty of room for extra skills in here. Now let's take a look at the passives. And you can really see the order that I've leveled things up at level 100, and I put a lot of thought into it as well. Blessed Harmony gives me 9% magic attack increase. This was the first thing I put skill points in. That's huge. So at level 5, 9% boost. Then I have Arcane Aim, which gave me a 3% magic attack increase with a 20% activation chance. This is actually a stacking buff. So it stacks up to a 15% magic attack increase. With a 20% activation chance and the fact that you spam skills like once every second, you get this stacked up pretty fast. Buff Mastery, I've just started adding points to now. It is a defensive boost. I always like to focus on the offense first, but I notice I've been getting beat up real hard in the boss runs lately, so I would love to get this. It looks like at level 10, you're going to have 10% boss defense increase, 10% player defense increase, and, well, close to 5% physical and magical damage decrease as well. So this will really help me stay alive. Going over to buffs, we pick up Advanced Blessing. This actually replaces our earlier buff, Bless, and it's going to give us 6% accuracy, 12% evade, and 18% physical and magical attack increase. This is a huge buff, and it's a huge boost to our old buff as well. So right after capping out these two passives, I went and I maxed out both of my buffs. Advanced Blessing is also a party buff, so you really want to focus in on that quickly. And Infinity is only a self buff, but it's huge. 8% player attack, 8% boss attack, 5% pen rate, and it's a full 30-minute buff. This was a massive buff that I focused on right away, coming over here, let's take a look at our actives. Now, truthfully, I probably should not have put 2 more points into buff mastery and should continue to focus on my main active skill that I've been using, but not a big deal. Let's take a look at Big Bang. Big Bang used to be the reason bishops still put out some of the craziest damage in the game, although still, even with them being a support character, but this was severely nerfed coming into MapleStory M. Now, it is, I'll show you Big Bang. It's an AoE attack, does a bunch of damage, and you can charge it up. Bahamut, you actually summon the almighty Bahamut. It's a dragon that will fly around basically like an attacking pet with you. It truthfully is a little underwhelming. I'll show you it as well though. Resurrection, Genesis. Resurrection is a 60-second cooldown that resurrects a party member. It can target up to 9 people. Target count 9, but I mean, not that you're probably going to be around 9 people who are waiting 10 seconds to respawn. And Genesis is probably our strongest attack, but it is on a huge cooldown. It is 30 seconds, and it does not seem to get any lower with leveling it up. But it basically is almost a full map clear, but we'll check it out as well. And Angel Ray is my favorite skill. It's going to be very comparable to our Holy Arrow that we got at level 30. Let's throw all of these onto the skill bar so I can show you them. We have Genesis, Angel Ray, and I can switch it over to here and put on the buffs as well. Advanced Blessing and Infinity. Actually, I don't think I showed you the buffs from the last skill tree. So I'll throw those. Now we'll look at them after. Okay, so this is, forgetting the names of all the skills now. This is Big Bang. So if you just spam it, it's a big AoE. The cool thing about this skill is it can actually hit 2 rows of nets. So as a bishop, I can easily cover 2 lanes in nets. Even on Chaos, this is level 1. Now, what the UI will do is actually hold the skill down, and it charges up and does significantly more damage. So it's a charged AoE blast skill. But the damage is sort of underwhelming, and I'm much more of a fan of Angel Ray. It basically shoots an arrow and does very good damage in a straight line. This is the skill I use pretty much all of the time in Zakum runs, mobbing, no matter what. When I'm AFK auto-battling, this straight line that this skill hits in is fantastic. This is my main damaging skill. But here's Bahamut, our summon. I'm definitely butchering that name, and I apologize. This dragon will follow you around. I mean, aesthetically, it's already one of the coolest summons in the game. But you'll find, especially when you're spamming this skill, that this summon is basically useless, as he never has enough time to actually get to a mob or do any damage to it at all. So, very cool. They did just buff him in the last patch, but definitely nowhere near to actually having an impact on the game yet. Here's Resurrection. It's on a 60-second cooldown, not enough MP. Let's fix that problem. You charge it up, boom. Anyone who was around you that was fallen just got revived. And here we have the basically half a map full clear skill that I'm once again forgetting the name of, Genesis. It's on a 30-second cooldown, and that does a crazy amount of damage just everywhere. When I'm auto-battling, I always have Genesis and Angel Ray on my skill bar, because it's going to, I love, whenever that Genesis is off cooldown, it should be getting used, because it'll full clear 3 rows of monsters for you. Let's take a quick look at the buffs. These are what they look like when you put them on. And we already went over what the more important thing about the buffs is what they do. We don't need to see animations for them. They all, a little sparkle or a light that goes around you. But that is the Bishop class. You've now had a look at every single skill we have at our disposal. And yeah, I mean, if we go and take a quick look, I'll just kind of show you the damage I managed to put out. Let's jump in a mini dungeon. Although it's definitely not the best way to show things off. I mean, this would have been a nice way to compare all the damage each individual skill did, I suppose. But every skill, as long as you push and have like an epic weapon fairly early, you'll find ranking up that just about every skill you have one-shots just about every mob you come by. But Angel Ray here, it's doing 4,000 damage. I have a perfect max base unique wand that I'm in the middle of leveling up. I think it's at level 10 plus 15. So it's a pretty decent weapon, so that's not the best comparison. But to show you I don't have teleport on, so I gotta get up here the manual way. This does more damage. It's hitting for 11,000. As you can see, Angel Ray is only doing 4 to 6,000, but the difference is Angel Ray hits a bunch of different individual times too, and I think it's actually quite a lot. So Angel Ray will do more damage in total, but when you charge this skill up, it's gonna hit in the 20 to 27,000s. But who has time to run up to a mob? Oh, it just doesn't work very well. There's the Bishop class. That's everything we have to offer. I hope if you guys are struggling on picking what class you want to play as, this will help you choose whether or not you want to be a Bishop. That's my goal with this video, and I'm going to continue this series as well. Obviously, we have 4 more heroes to cover until they add new heroes to the game, which I'm also excited for. Thanks for checking this out, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you now know which class you want to start with, or maybe you're just looking to start your second character, or even your third if you're crazy. But thanks for checking us out, guys. Grab my Facebook and my Twitter from the description down below. Follow me on social media. That's how you're gonna know when we're going live or when new content's coming out. As well, I want to thank Gameflip.com for sponsoring this video. Check the top of the description below for a link to go to Gameflip.com and save on any of your in-game purchases. Check out their Google Play and iTunes gift cards for less than face value. It's basically free money. But make sure you use that link in the top of the description. I appreciate it. It'll also help me out. Thanks so much for watching my videos, guys. It honestly means the world to me. There's also a Discord link down there. I'd love to invite you all to come join our Discord family. It's almost at 3,000 members strong now. Discord.gg/MasTV. Love to have you. But for now, smash that subscribe button and stay classy.